Hey, how's it going, everyone? It's Tyagara, and I welcome you guys back to another episode of Oot 3D 3-Heart Run. Now, in the last episode, we made our way through the Spirit Temple as a child, whereupon we met Naburu, who is also a Gerudo thief, though not a follower of Ganondorf. She actually wanted to go into the Spirit Temple and mess up Ganondorf's plans, but unfortunately for her, she was captured by two twin witches, or Twitches for short. This time, we're gonna finish what Naburu started. As you can see, the game automatically equips the silver gauntlets for you, so don't you worry about that. So we're gonna make our way back to the Spirit Temple and move that giant cement block. But first, we're actually gonna ride that magic leaf that grew from the bean we planted as a child. Because once you hop on and take this baby for a joyride, you're gonna fly past this first rock here, and then land on the second giant one over here. Just hop off. And you're gonna whip out the Ocarina of Time and play the Sun Song for, of course, another gold Skulltula. Now, as you can see from the counter on the right-hand side of the screen, we are getting close to 100 Skulltulas, which is all of them. Now, in the next episode, we should have all 100 by then, so I'll show off what happens. You get a nice reward from the Skulltula house. But we'll cross that metaphorical bridge when we get there. For now, we are just gonna make our way past these guys, and as you can see, somersaulting makes you immune to damage. And we're gonna head back inside the Spirit Temple. Gonna make our way up the stairs. Once we're here, we're safe because those guys are only able to live on sand, of course. So once we're inside, just like as a child, you want to pull out your shield and just block those flying pots. Now we're gonna head right. Now guys, I know I've said this before, or at least I believe I have, but the Spirit Temple, far and away my favorite dungeon in this entire game. The atmosphere of it is top-notch between the music and the textures. It just makes you feel like you're in an old decrepit tomb, kind of like, you know, ancient Egyptian pyramids. It's just such a nice feeling. It's like Indiana Jones, you know, being an archaeologist, just a lot of fun to explore. But not only that, gameplay and story-wise, the fact that it's the only temple in the game that you have to traverse through as both young and adult Link is such an amazing concept, and I really, really wish the devs went further with it, because Ocarina of Time's time travel mechanic is so much fun. It's so interesting and so well done. It's a shame that this, and to a lesser degree, the Shadow Temple and Bottom of the Well, are the only times where you have to collaboratively complete a dungeon as the two forms of Link. But I digress. You stand on the Triforce, and of course you play Zelda's Lullaby, causing this chest to spawn over here, so you want to use a long shot, hop on over there, and in case you're wondering, no, this is not where you're going to get the dungeon item. That would be a little too early. Instead, it's just going to be the compass for now, and also don't worry about that Wolfos, he's fine down there. This is his little playpen. See, we'll spare him. He's a good boy. We'll let him live. I mean, we did hit him once with our big Goron sword, but shh, nobody cares about that. Anyway, we're gonna head on through this door to the right here. And once again, like in the other section of the Spirit Temple, we've got a silver rupee puzzle. And here is me thinking I could jump over that giant boulder there, but can't all be winners, sadly. We're gonna make our way on up here, and as you can see, the camera gets all weird whenever you enter one of those little alcoves there. So of course you want to play the Song of Time to get rid of this giant block of time. I believe this is the final one in the game. And as you can see there, that's where another gold Skulltula is hiding. So once this boulder rolls on by, we're gonna make our way inside. Dang it, I thought I was safe, but I guess not. We're gonna head on over and grab this next silver rupee here. Oh wait, the block of time just simply shifted places. Let's send it back over real quick now. In case you're wondering how you're supposed to get that last silver rupee there, that's floating. I'll show you in just a second. I want to quickly look at the other alcove, because there's another silver rupee. We're going to stand back from that boulder. Head on over here. Very nice. Alright, so I'm going to use the long shot to instantly zip on over there, using the iframes from it. And now you're going to pull out your hover boots, and you're going to try and land on it. Like so. Awesome. Now you want to be careful not to skid into the path of the boulders. Just take that off, because you don't want to be Luigi in this temple, especially with all those giant boulders everywhere. Like I said, nice and Indiana Jonesy, however, they don't quite chase you all over the place. Now here we have a small key, and a like dropping in to say hi, but thankfully with the big Goron sword, we can just take him down in one fell swoop. And we can't quite reach it from here, but if we move a little further up, you can just instantly zip on over to the ledge, or just miss entirely like I did there. But, you know, third time's the charm there, guys. Back through the door to the right. As you can see, this is pretty much a mirrored version of the room from the child section of the Spirit Temple. Now, I believe... Oh, right, we can just swat him out of the air. There's another like. Let's just swing low and take care of him real quick. God, I love the big Goron sword. I love taking likes down in one swing. God, I feel bad for people who are scared of, you know, being eaten alive, because if you get, you know, swallowed by a like in this game, I imagine that would trigger your fear. Now, as you can see, or rather you can't see because we're not using the lens of truth, there are some enemies in this room that we cannot physically see. However, also judging from the sound effect and the fact that they're split off into 3 little ones, you can tell that these are indeed our good friends, the Floor Masters from the Forest Temple. Now then, as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, there are a bunch of treasure chests in this room. However, you don't want to pick up you don't want to open up the treasure chests that spawn in from the bad sound effect there. What you're meant to do in this puzzle is use the lens of truth to find the one sun that sticks around, like that one there, and that will open the way forward. You can just ignore those other chests, because I believe they contain traps, and I don't feel like showing that off, because I've only got 2 hearts left. But anyway, this guy, unlike on the other side of the temple, he is not an inanimate object. We actually have to kill him using the big Oron sword, so we're just going to retreat for now, like so, and then we're going to make our way back down. Gonna smash up these pots. Oh, I am obligated to show this off as an Ocarina of Time Let's Player. It's a little inappropriate, but the developers were kind of naughty, and if you feel so inclined, you can hookshot onto the Desert Colossus nipples. I'm obligated to show that off. I'm sorry, guys. If that made you uncomfortable, I apologize. But anyway, we're gonna go back to the child side of the temple for a second and push this fella down. Just because I can. We don't actually want to go back the way we came. Instead, I want to make my way up the stairs here. And remember what I mentioned in the last episode, floating green Navi? Yeah, you want to use the scarecrow here real quick. So let's just play our butchered Song of Healing real quick. And then hookshot on over there to grab that next gold Skulltula. How's it going, Pierre? I believe this is also the last time we'll see Pierre. So guys, in case you were attached to our dear friend the Scarecrow, or Shred the Scarecrow, I wish we could call him. If you played Xenoblade 3, you know. Anyway, say goodbye to Pierre, guys. It's been nice knowing him. Don't worry, if I do play Majora's Mask someday, we'll see another Scarecrow. I promise. In the meantime, though, we're gonna make our way back on over to this side of the room, and there's another, like, hook on the ceiling there, so that's how you pull yourself back up, because you can't climb up. Otherwise, you could just cheese this dungeon as a kid. Pardon me. Ugh. So, what you want to do next is, once again, pull out your hover boots. And you see that palm there, the Triforce in the palm of her hand. You want to somersault on over and make sure you land on it. And then, of course, you want to play Zelda's Lullaby to lift yourself up. In the words of Josh Groban, you raise me up. But not quite, because I don't think that's actually what's about to happen. Instead, I think it's just going to make a treasure chest spawn in. Yep. I wish it raised you up, that would have been really funny, but I digress. We're just gonna hook on over to that treasure chest there, and then open it up, whereupon we will find a small key. Very, very nice. Now then, you probably noticed that there's a switch that we can hit with the Goron hammer that's up across from this torch here on that platform. Let's go see if we can do something about that real quick. Oh yes, of course, causes a second treasure chest to spawn in there. Just want to open that up real quick, and you'll find a silver rupee, which of course we wasted. The wasted rupee counter is going up right now. But anyway, we're just gonna quickly hit this with X, and doing so will cause that door in the middle to open up, which will grant us a little shortcut back to the entrance. So let's go explore that real quick. Gonna use our hover boots to get on down safely. So we don't want to take fall damage. We haven't gotten any recovery hearts. Now there's that thing that Deku Scrub mentioned all the way back in the Deku Tree, that if you hold forward when you land from a high distance, you are not going to take fall damage and you'll just somersault. So yes, we're just going to push this cement block once again, like Nabooru. But anyway, guys, let me know in the comments, Ocarina of Time veterans, or even newcomers, considering these are all the main temples, minus of course Ganon's Tower, but that doesn't quite count. What's your favorite dungeon in this game? It can include the Ice Cavern and the bottom of the well if you feel so inclined, but I'm talking about the main dungeons, you know, all the temples and the Young Link dungeons. Which one's your favorite? I know I already said mine, but I would love to hear yours in the comments below. And also, follow-up question. Those of you who have played every Zelda game, or a lot of Zelda games, which game do you think has overall the best dungeons in the series? I'm very curious about that. Me personally, I think Ocarina of Time's lineup of dungeons is incredibly solid, and there's so many of them though. You know, there are 8 main dungeons, which is awesome. And then of course, you know, the 2 mini dungeons and also Ganon's Tower. There's just a lot to do. It's just an absolute pleasure. This game, I really have no idea how many times I've played it in my life, but I never, ever, ever get bored of it. It's just always, like, it has replayability. You know, a common criticism of this game compared to other games in the series like Zelda 1, A Link to the Past, and Breath of the Wild is how linear it is, which, for one, I don't understand where this mentality came from that linear games and stories equals bad, you know? Like, sure, it's an adventure game and you explore, but adventure games that are linear can be fun. Like, I really don't get why everyone just hates on Ocarina of Time for being linear. Or not everyone, but some people. Ego Raptor. But I digress. It's... Oh, whoops, there we go. Take down that Anubis with the fire arrow. Let's actually use Din's Fire, shall we? Unless, I don't know, we respawn, or is there just the 3 of them? 3 is the magic number, as we've said numerous times in this playthrough. So next, we're gonna pull out the bomb and just take care of the Beamos. But yeah, as I was saying, I somewhat blame Ego Raptor for, you know, popularizing the idea that a linear Zelda game is a less than stellar Zelda game. As you can see, stepping on that switch will cause another ring of fire to appear, just like on the child side of the dungeon. But next thing you want to do here is actually switch back to the default arrow for one of the most, well, I don't want to say convoluted, but less obvious puzzles in the game. What you want to do is shoot this guy here, and he's going to step on that switch, and real quick you want to turn around and just make your way on through. I don't know how anyone's expected to find that out on their own, but as you can see, there's some treasure chests hidden here as indicated by the mini-map there. The one contains a recovery heart, and the other will contain another recovery heart. So we're going to make our way on up the stairs, of course. And here, it's a rematch with another Dark Nut. So this time we got the big Goron sword. We're going to do significantly more damage. So once again, just stick and move like before. It's going to swing twice. You want to stand back. Oh, and he's already dead because the big Goron sword is just that much more powerful than the Kokiri sword. But yes, going back to what I was saying before, Ocarina of Time on paper is a linear game, yes. But as you can see from my playthrough here, you can tackle a lot of the dungeons in whatever order you like. Like, you can either go to fire or water, you don't always have to go to one or the other first. Same with the Shadow and Spirit. And on top of that, if you feel so inclined, because, you know, the bow and arrow is a pretty necessary item, you can just straight up go about halfway through the Forest Temple, grab the bow and arrow, leave, and then complete the other 2 dungeons before you even do the Forest Temple, which is pretty funny. But anyway, as you can see here, as I was talking, we just got the dungeon item, which is the Mirror Shield. Now, you remember how Kibora mentioned in the last episode that in order to take down the boss of this temple, we have to use their magic power against them. They are elemental witches, and we need to use our Mirror Shield to guide their opposing elements into each other's faces, much like how we gotta guide this light up onto the sun here using the mirror shield. Now, this mechanic comes back in Majora's Mask and Stone Tower Temple, which is probably my favorite temple in Majora's Mask. So as you can see, there's a bit of a running theme with me. I love the Spirit Temple in Oot, and then I love Stone Tower Temple in Majora's Mask. Just these extremely atmospheric, light, puzzle-centric dungeons are my favorite to traverse through. Same with, what is it, the Earth Temple in Wind Waker. That one is also a pleasure because, you know, that's the temple where you get the mirror shield in that game. And also you gotta control Medley. It's like a partner dungeon, which you gotta do with Makar as well. And then also in Phantom Hourglass, they bring that back with that Goron guy. Can't remember what his name is, but when you go through the temple to get to the, what was it, the pure metal for the Phantom Sword on the Goron's island, you gotta go through it with a partner. I just love when Zelda games do that, you know? Also, I imagine you're meant to climb up that wall in like a specific way, but the way I've always done it is just long shot it to the top, and I'm sure other people do that too. Also, as you can see, Beamos lasers do a full heart of damage, and I should have been a little more careful because I'm on the verge of death now. So let's just quickly play Zelda's Lullaby. Gotta say, I think the Spirit Temple is the temple that uses Zelda's Lullaby the most, because that's been, what, like 3-4 times now we've had to play it? Just something I've observed, but without further ado, we're gonna head on through this door. And as you can see, we've got a few of our friends here from the Fire Temple. torch slugs, of course. Just gonna stand back, take them down nice and quickly. We've got all of our magic meter topped up now, thanks to these magic bottles. But what I would really like is a recovery heart, for obvious reasons. Now, as you can see, all these doors look extremely fake. This room is essentially just a small fire temple puzzle because, you know, gotta use the Goron's hammer. We're just gonna smash them all, you know? Might as well. And there's the one hiding the eye. So, you want to shoot this eye, of course. Doing so will cause a second platform to spawn up there. And now you want to pull at the long shot once again. And then make your way on up to the ceiling here. Spider-Man style and everything. Granted, I've never actually seen Spider-Man, you know, web and then latch himself and pull himself up like that. So, never mind. It's the double claw shots in Twilight Princess that function a lot more like Spider-Man, which is really cool. But anyway, sorry, I don't mean to keep going back to the subject we were discussing before, but do you guys generally prefer linear or non-linear video games, or Zelda games in general? Let me know, I'm very curious. Me, personally, I tend to prefer linear games, just because I like the structure better, you know. It makes it easier for stories to progress, because one of the reasons why I don't love Breath of the Wild, like, I mean, it's great that it's such an open experience and you can play the game however you like, but it's just the fact that all the main story beats are pretty much optional since they're all in flashbacks that you don't need to view in order to beat the game. I've always found that particular part a little disappointing, which is why, one of the few reasons why I don't love Breath of the Wild. Ocarina of Time, on the other hand, you never miss any story beats because, you know, you're required to go to every temple, and I find that enjoyable because I know not everyone needs, you know, video games to have good stories for them to enjoy them, but for me it adds to it because, you know, storytelling is an art form and video games are also an art form. Now, of course, you know, storyless or games with like little focus on stories are just as valid as linear story focused games, but me personally, I just generally prefer games that have a focused narrative. All that rambling aside though, you want to push this statue or this giant mirror here with the light coming off of it against this wall. And then you're gonna bomb it, and then it's gonna cause this one to go off here. And we got another Lizalfo, so let's just stand back and thrust him once again. God, look how powerful we are now with the big Goron sword. Remember back in Dodongo's cavern when those fights took a little while using, you know, Kokiri sword jump slashes? Well, now as an adult, they take no time at all with the big Goron sword. Absolutely love that. As you can see, there's a hidden treasure chest in this room. And being completely honest with you, it just contains like some rupees or a recovery heart or whatever, so I'm just gonna ignore it. And also, I may or may not have forgotten how exactly you're supposed to get that treasure chest to spawn in, but I digress. I accidentally just took a bit of a beating there from that flying pot, but that's all good, man. We're just gonna let these pots go soaring everywhere. Break this one, but sadly it did not contain a recovery heart. And then once again, we wanna gently guide our light here. God, the stick sensitivity is so rough. Oh my goodness. Yeah, over onto that shield there, and it's gonna lower us down in front of the main statue there, the one with the hook-shotable nipples. God, I'm so sorry I had to subject you guys to that, but it's an obligation as an Ocarina of Time Let's Player. Anyway, next thing you want to do is, of course, hook onto this gate here, make your way on through, and then open this up. Now here we have the cutscene that, for whatever reason, plays at the opening of the game if you stay on the title screen for too long. Guys, meet Koume and Kotake. Twinrova.
Ho ho ho, looks like someone is here, Koume. Hee hee hee, looks like it, Kotake.
I just had the big Goron sword a moment ago.
What an outrageous fellow he is to intrude so boldly into our temple! Ho ho ho!
Also, yeah, notice how I have the big Goron sword, but because of the cutscene, I'm now wielding the Master Sword.
We should teach this outrageous fellow a lesson, hee hee hee!
Here we have yet another Dark Nut. 3 is the magic number, as we've said numerous times now.
Oh, loyal minion! Destroy this intruder on our behalf!
Yes, boss. Right away. Hang on a sec. Where's my axe? Oh, that's better.
Looks like a halberd, actually. Anyway, here we have the 3rd and final Dark Nut of the Spirit Temple, so we just want to, you know, same way we took down the other guys. Just stick and move, of course. Let him do his double swing there real quick, and then back up. Ah! Uno, dos. And he misses. Back up, jump slash, and he's dead. Oh wait, it's Naburu! Wait, does that mean every Darknut is a Gerudo lady in there? One's brainwashed by Twinrova? Where am I?
Well, looks like she's back to normal, Koume. She's just a little girl, but she commands a lot of respect among the Gerudo, Kotake. Maybe we should make her work for the Great Ganondorf for a little while longer. And we can brainwash her again.
Oh dear God. I just watched someone die. And the Twitches have vanished into thin air. But of course, they're in that suspicious looking door behind the throne, which by the way can actually be smashed by the iron or the Darknut's big iron axe there, just so you know. But anyway, without further ado, we're gonna make our way to this big central boss room here. Just a long shot on up there to save a little time. And activate the cutscene.
Look at that stupid kid! He came on his own to offer himself as a sacrifice to the Great Ganondorf! With my flame, I will burn him to the bone! With my frost, I will freeze him to his sword!
Alright, so I'm pretty sure Koume is the fire one and Kotake's the ice one. So yeah, you just want to use Koume's fire against Kotake's ice and vice versa. But yes, this is Twinrova, ladies and gentlemen. The penultimate boss of Ocarina of Time if you go about my way. So what you want to do, actually, whichever one shoots at you first, you want to absorb their magic, rather, with using your mirror shield. So it's going to be Koume, first things first. Gonna give us some fire here. Oh wait, sorry, no, you don't absorb the element until later in the fight. You want to make sure that they're in each other's flight path there, so that you can take them down. So yeah, Koume's gonna... Oh wait. Oh, and if you miss, their elements will spew it onto the floor there, as you can see. Now, this boss fight is pretty fun, but I won't lie, it does take a while just because, you know... Uh-oh. Thankfully, the Goron Tunic prevented us from taking more damage there. Yeah, you just want to stand back and make sure that you have both of them in your sight there. And then you want to direct it over to the other witch, like so. So it took me a while to show off there, but now we're probably going to see a switch. So yeah, you just want to rinse and repeat until the second phase of the fight initiate. It helps when they're stuck on each other like this. So we're going to use our ice there, and we're going to freeze Koume. Now, they don't necessarily, you know, rotate. Sometimes it might be 2 fires in a row, 2 ices in a row. It's completely random. As you can see here, it's going to be 2 ices in a row. It honestly helps if you don't L-target, just so you have more free reign over your shield, of course, as you can see there. So a couple more hits ought to do it before they transition into phase 2. We're actually going to see 3 ices in a row, which is pretty uncommon, actually. Usually they switch between each other. And also, if you aim it low, I just learned that now, actually, it will bounce off and hit the floor there.
Okay, let's get serious now, Kotake! Oh, okay, Koume! Kotake and Koume double dynamite attack!
Whoa! Oh no, she's hot! So yes, welcome to phase 2 of Twinrova. As I said at the start of the fight here, what you want to do is absorb the element on your shield. Now, how you do that is you just simply block. It won't shoot back since it's not a giant beam. If she tries to throw fire at you when you've got ice stored up, just don't bother with it, and vice versa, because you need 3 of them in order to shoot them back at her. So here we've got 3 ices in a row, because she was really nice to us. And now you're going to make your way on over, jump slash, and just wail on Twinrova. Alright. Put the sword away so that you can have your shield equipped. Now here I think is where she's going to start mixing up her elements. So first things first, we got a fire. And I'll show off if she shoots an ice. But yeah, this boss fight, it is a little time consuming, but it's a fun one. I really like it. I think the concept is really cool of, you know, giving her elements back to her and just moving around and using them against her. It's just really fun. But as you can see here, she's going to throw some ice at us, so we just want to avoid that real quick. Now, I do believe if she takes too long to fire the elements, your shield will lose them. So thankfully, shouldn't be more than an extra cycle like that there. Alright, you're gonna make your way back on over, and the jump slash will do it! Always use Big Goron swords during fights, guys. It's against the stealth folks that you want to use the Master Sword and Hylian Shield. But with that, Twinrova's defeated.
Shoot! What French kid? This time we're not serious, right, Kotake? What? Hey, Koume, what's that above your head? I don't know, but you have one over your head too, Kotake! But I'm only 400 years old! And I'm just 380 years old! We're twins, don't try to lie about your age! You must have gone senile! Who are you going senile? Not after your decision, we're twins, how can you be older? Yeah, of course you are! How can you be so ungrateful? You're heartless! You're ungrateful!
God, my poor throat.
We'll come back to haunt you!
I'm never doing that voice again, even if I help you Majora's Mask. Spoilers, but they kind of sort of come back in Majora's Mask, but not really. Yeah, there's your heart container over there if you need it. In the meantime, I'm gonna head on over into this blue light and give my poor throat a rest, because holy God, I need a huge drink of water, and also to just not talk for the next few days. Hey, Nabooru. Glad you're not dead. Or maybe you are. I don't know. Kid, let me thank you. Look at what the little kid has become in the past 7 years. A competent swordsman. By the way, I really messed up. I was brainwashed by those old witches and used by Ganondorf to do his evil will. But isn't it funny that a person like me could turn out to be the Sage of Spirit? And now I'm gonna fight them as one of the 6 sages. I'm gonna pay them back for what they did to me. Kid. No. Link, the hero of time. Instead of keeping the promise I made back then, I'll give you this medallion. Take it! That's right, guys. We are now a competent swordsman with a complete coin collection as well. Look at that! All 6 shiny elemental coins are now ours. Ladies and gentlemen, we at long last have the Medallion of Spirit. Which means we can take on Ganondorf. You receive the Spirit Medallion. Nabooru awakens as a sage and adds her power to yours. Only I'd known you would become such a handsome man. I'm 16! I should have kept the promise I made back then. I am only 16! What was she cooking? Anyway. Hello, old friend. Link, the hero! Finally, all of us, the 6 sages, have awakened. The time for the final showdown with the King of Evil has come. Before that, though, you should meet the one who is waiting for you. The one who is waiting for you at the Temple of Time. Well, we could do that. There's a couple things we're gonna want to do first. In the next episode of Oot 3D 3-Heart Run, we're gonna take care of the last of the side content in this game. Till then, guys, my name's been Tyagara. I thank you all so much for watching, and I bid you guys farewell, and I just wanted to slash that crow real quick. Alright, bye guys.